Hello, everybody. How are we today? I hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Hi, Tori. How are you today? Oh, why are you hiding behind the corner? I promise, I don't bite. Often. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. Did you watch the PlayStation State of Play today? Something troubles me about that Wounded Knight's account. He claims he fell chasing a figure in the darkness that he saw outside the eastern gate, yes? But the main road leads to the southwestern gate. Since we've arrived in Whitebrim Front, I've seen no travelers arrive by the eastern gate. Moreover, he said he glimpsed a silhouette illuminated by the light of the city, which would imply that the Inquisitor came from north of the eastern gate, not south. No, sadly, some good announcements were made. Stellar Blade looks good, but it looks like it's a lot of fan service too. Obviously inspired by Nier Automata. Death Stranding 2 got a trailer, which looks amazing, as always. Kojima always does good work. Silent Hill got a new free game called Silent Hill The Short Message. We also got a trailer for Silent Hill 2 remake with some gameplay and combat. Those are the notable ones for me. Oh, and a remake of Until Dawn. But it cannot be so. That way lies not but a deep chasm. Assuming Sir Jalot was not misremembering. Remade for PS5 and PC. The Inquisitor's behavior that night makes absolutely no sense, at least to me. Mayhap retracing his steps will shed light on this mystery. I have never played it. I only played the VR on-rail shooter game, which I really, really enjoyed. And next week on the 6th, we're getting a dedicated state of play for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's probably when the demo is going to drop, which I will stream it if there is a demo drop that day. Yeah, that's a long way down. That's a long way down. It wants me to go down there, but... Ah, from the other gate. Boom, boom. Boom. Oh, cool. I appreciate that. We're also live over on YouTube as well. I decided to dual stream today. That's fair enough. You be wherever you're comfortable. I just like putting, it out there where people can watch me from wherever they're comfortable, You found something, didn't you? Well, don't keep me waiting in suspense. Let's see it. Given the contents of this encyclical, I believe you have just made the acquaintance of the real Inquisitor Galaim, newly come to Corthus and murdered on the day of his arrival. Yes, it would have been a simple thing to assume his identity, for even if he were to behave oddly, who would dare question the wisdom of a papal appointment? Still, while this is incontrovertible proof that the Inquisitor is an impostor, we have yet to discern his true identity or why he has decided to oppose us. We must proceed quickly, Cornell, before he learns that his deception has been discovered. Since Lord Drillmont has already turned against us, I fear this encyclical alone will not serve to convince him of our claims. But what might persuade a man so quick to disregard the endorsements of two high houses? The cook did say that the Lord listens to and respects the opinions of his knights. If a certain knight were to provide testimony that it supports our claim, yes, mayhap that is the only way left to us. Confront Sir Jalot with the evidence you discovered and see if it helps him recall the truth of that night. As a man of faith, he may find it difficult to cope with such a horrifying revelation. Nevertheless, we must do everything within our power to secure the Enterprise. Oh, you have returned. Is there something else you wanted to ask? The Inquisitor's an imposter? Don't be preposterous. That could not possibly be true. He is a paragon of virtue, a dedicated servant of the Fury. You would have me believe that is all a lie? If you are so certain that your ludicrous story is true, then go speak with Sir Prunilla. She was at the Eastern Gate that night, and she helped the Inquisitor carry me here. I'll never speak against the man who saved my life. What's your favorite Final Fantasy game, Tori? You. I do not believe I know you, sir. Pray, move along and trouble me no more. Are you in the habit of handing bloody documents to strangers? Why would you show me such a dreadful thing? I know not of it, not at all. What? Do you doubt my words? Away with you. I will suffer your slander no more. You know, don't you? Fury take me. I prayed this day would come. Oh, okay. When Sir Gillette gave chase, I followed close behind. He didn't fall. One of those Dravenian abominations lashed out at him, nearly killed him right then and there. I drew my sword and rushed to his side, strained to see the enemy, but what came from the dark was not a beast, but a voice. He knew things about me, about my family, secrets I had never told another. He said that if I kept his confidence, Sir Gillette and I would be spared, but if I defied him, everyone I loved would suffer unimaginable horrors before they died. When at last I agreed to his terms, the man came forward. His robes marked him as an inquisitor, but I knew him to be false. Together we carried Sir Gillette to the infirmary, and on his first night in White Brim Front, Inquisitor Gulaim was heralded as a hero. Soon after came the accusations. Countless men and women of good moral standing seized whilst in possession of draconian rosaries. As I feared, he was condemning the innocent to death. I wanted to confess to Lord Drillamont, wanted to put an end to the madness, but then I would remember the Inquisitor's threats, and so I did nothing until Lord Francil was accused. Some time ago I followed the Inquisitor and found that he kept draconian rosaries in a chest hidden somewhere southeast of White Brim Front. So I took several from his chest and planted them in shipments bound for the Skyfire locks. As I had hoped, they were discovered and considered evidence of a conspiracy against House Halorant, thus exonerating Lord Francil and casting doubt on the other recent trials. And that is the entire truth, I swear. Alone, forgive me for not acting sooner. I like 16 and 7 remake, but only for certain character personalities. 15 was okay to me, but the story needed work. It did need work. I haven't played it since the whole Royal Edition came out, which makes some story changes. And they had to cut an entire chapter of DLC because of production. Well, whose characters' personalities did you like from the 7 remake? I'm curious to see who is your favorite there. Why do you persist in this folly? I will not grant you 3 access to Stone Vigil. Do not make me repeat myself. Sang, Aerith, and Barrett. Good choices. Great characters. There had better be a very good explanation for why you were carrying these rosaries, and where did you find this papal encyclical? Fury take me, the Inquisitor is a heretic? Never before have I heard such an unbelievable tale, but this evidence in your testimony could have no other explanation. I have misjudged you and your friends, Cornell. For that I deeply apologize. I will permit you to enter the outpost, but first I must needs beg your assistance. Help me and my knights bring this infernal impostor to justice. Saying is your favorite? Fair enough. May I ask what about him you like? Because it's interesting to have you like a more, well, antagonist / morally gray character. That thrice-damned heretic has murdered countless innocents and made a mockery of our laws. Hells take him and his Dravonian allies. I am told he makes for Snowcloak even now, intending to pass judgment on yet another poor soul, whom he has branded heretic. If we hurry, There may still be time to prevent further tragedy. Lend me your strength, Cornell. Together let us put an end to this impostor's heresy once and for all. Damn it. No, I get that. I get that. I get that. No, I get it. I get it. That's great. And bravo on you for being honest about it. Because I'm the same way. I have a type. Tifa is my type. And that's awesome that your husband has a good sense of humor to tease you about it too. I like that. Boom, boom, ba-da-ba-boom. Boom, 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 boom. Good evening, Lomkey. How are you? Good to have you with us, sir. When Lord Jullimon arrives, we are to confront the Inquisitor. If he refuses to go quietly, we will need to use force. Are you prepared for that eventuality? You needn't tremble so, my child. The righteous shall enjoy everlasting peace in Halone's halls. Only the wicked. But why? Why must I die? By all that is holy, I swear to you that I have never questioned the teachings of Halone. Inquisitor, release the maid and come with us. Yay! Let me guess, it's your Friday? Or you have no studying to do tonight? My Lord Jullimon, what is the meaning of this interruption? You are aware that I am present conducting an interrogation, are you not? Silence, villain. I named thee heretic, murderer of Inquisitor Galame, and countless innocents. You are a traitor to Ishgard, to your own kith and kin. Your sins are beyond measure, beyond redemption. Grave allegations indeed. But you find your logic is flawed. How can I betray that which I owe no allegiance? No, Lord Jullimon, my conscience is quite clear, I assure you. I wonder, can you say the same? You whose hands are black with the blood of those whose only sin was to question your nation's crazed crusade? 2 days to go? Okay. So you're a Monday through Friday worker. You speak of me of Ishgardian innocence. Ha! All are complicit in these crimes, for all live their lives by the Archbishop's lies. But I know you will not hear me, deafened by dogma as you are. If you desire retribution, Lord Jullimon, then come. Let us see how Ishgardian steel fares against Dravanian fang and claw. It has been ages since I've had a normal latte. I have to do green tea lattes because I can't handle coffee caffeine. It makes me sleepy for some reason. That, and I have to be careful with what types of caffeine I take in with my heart condition. So. Let's see. Oof. Yeah, see, what I drink is I actually use G Fuel because it's mostly antioxidant and vitamin based for its energy. It has equal amounts of caffeine to about 1 cup of coffee. And how I mix it is I mix 1 scoop per 64 ounces of liquid. Frozen green teas. Where do you get those? Where do you get those? That sounds so good. My glamour's dispelled. Your plans lie in ruin, heretic. Choose your words wisely, for they will be your last. I swear by it. I buy the tubs, not the cans. And they last a good while. You may not recall the many guardians I have sentenced, but the families of the dead will never forget. Blood has been repaid with blood. For that I am content. Excuse me. My only regret is that you yet live. But your end is nigh, foreigner. The dragons within the stone vigil will rend you asunder, and when you are dead, white brim front shall fall. Ah, okay. Defiant to the last, leave the body for the crows. His ilk deserves not better. Cornell, I must apologize for involving you in this sordid business. You should never have been asked to intervene in Ishgardian affairs of state. Rest assured, I have not forgotten the matter which first brought you into our midst. It is past time that you were reunited with your airship. But this is not the place to discuss such matters. Pray, visit me at White Brim Front and bring your associates. Yet, you guys have a ton of Tim Hoes. And Tim Hoes is hard to find down here in the States. horde on every corner. Sorry, that's what the people in my region, my friends and us, we nicknamed it that. I loved their breakfast sandwiches and wraps and stuff like that. Where have you been, Cornell? The false inquisitor has been slain, has he? Yes, well, his was a tale always like to end in bloodshed. Finally got Culver's and Panda Express. We getting tired of sharing at the lone McDonald's. What I miss, I'm on the West Coast again, and what isn't here in town anymore, and I'm gonna have to probably drive into California to get it, is In-N-Out Burger. So you have overcome the latest in a long line of unfortunate impediments. I would ask you not to revel in your victory just yet. We can celebrate once we have secured the Enterprise. As I am sure you will agree, it is past time we enter the Stone Vigil. Pay Lord Drillamont a visit and remind him of his obligations to us. Sid and I will follow anon. Oh, Tori. Then Canes or Zaxby's? Oh, no, ads. Okay, I'll wait and ask you when you get back from ads. It's tacos. That's great. You got a taco commercial. Oh, and I'm not sure you've seen it, Lomkey, but if you want to change your stream avatar, there should be a panel down below for doing so. Aww. We owe you all a great debt of gratitude. Had it not been for you, the heretic masquerading as Inquisitor Gulaim would still be among us, free to prey upon the innocent. I see now that I was a fool to dismiss your claims out of hand. But you must understand, it seemed too much to hope that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn still lived, to say nothing of Master Garland. Never have I been happier to be proven wrong. Well, it is gratifying to know that someone here derived a measure of enjoyment from your error. Welcome back, both of you. Alright, so as I was going to ask, Tori, Canes or Zaxby's? Now, if you have no further objections, we would appreciate it if you would permit us to enter Stone Vigil and retrieve our airship. Oh, really? I thought both were down in Florida. Cane's chicken and Zaxby's chicken. Yes, of course, and it is the very least I can do, given all that you have done for us. But entering the outpost is the least of your concerns, I fear. You speak of the Dravanians that now hold the ruin. Ah, okay. In part, yes. I should explain. Shortly after you first arrived, I had my men scour the old records. They confirmed that an abandoned airship had been seized by the soldiers garrisoned at the Stone Village in the days following the calamity. As far as we have been able to ascertain, it was still in their custody when the outpost was overrun by the dragons. Whether it was damaged or destroyed during the battle, I cannot say, nor can I give you any assurances that it has not been removed in intervening years. For far too long, the ruin has served as a Dravanian foothold in Korthus, from which they have struck out at us with depressing regularity. Blah. Though we have pushed them back behind the walls, we have yet been unable to drive them out, and I cannot say when the situation will change. Woo! Hey, Nicole, how are you doing today? Or how it will change. Forgive me, Lord Drillmont. But there is no guarantee that you will prevail in any event. We have not the time to wait. We will secure our property without Ishgardian aid. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I've been doing them all with the NPCs, which actually has been quite lovely. Let's see. Well, that may be for the best. I'll inform Sir Nathlane of your impending visit. May Halone guide you, Scions. And rural living can be really nice. Though getting decent internet can be hard. Huh, interesting. Hail, Cornell. Lord Drillmont has apprised me of the situation. You may enter the stone vigil whensoever you will. Blah. Oh, I'm having a real tongue-tied day today. That's cool, though. The Amish can be pretty nice. They make damn good furniture, too. That actually startled me a little bit. Okay. That was on me. I stood in the middle. Oh, come on, Cornell. You know better than to stand in fire. Oof. Yeah. I bet so. I thought it wasn't one of my game stops when I would buy physical games a lot more often, and before I started ordering them online. Nice. Fair enough. Fair enough. The Air Force is there having the apprentice riders do this one under heavy supervision. Well, it'll be interesting to see how they do. And I trust Yoshi P won't let them do anything too insane. Fist weapons? Yeah, fist weapons. Actually, Lumpy, since you're still here, what is your favorite Final Fantasy game? Because I asked that earlier of Tori, so your turn. All right, let's take him on. I find that interesting. They gave Lancer Cloud's Braver. Okay. Oh, 2 treasure coffers. Vigil tights and a Vigil eye patch. Big crossbow. Okay. All right, let's see what's in this coffer. pants or boots, it looked like. Oh, that's awesome. I know when I unlock the next level. Nice. Look, it's the Enterprise. Yes, just beyond that enormous sleeping dragon. The dragon is not our concern. We have come for the airship and only the airship. Sid, you and I will sneak aboard the Enterprise and prepare it for launch. Cornell, you stay here and keep an eye on the beast. If it wakes, we may need you to provide a distraction until we are ready to depart. You can manage that, can't you? That settles it then, shall we, Sid? As you command. Oh, someone's barbecuing outside. It smells so good. So you mean to slay Garuda next? Interesting. Most interesting. And you are aware that her strength greatly exceeds that of your previous primal conquests. A testament to the fanatical devotion of her followers, the Ixil are nothing if not zealous. In spite of your past achievements, I labor to believe that you will best this foe. Yet only a fool would underestimate the great bringer of light, slayer of Ifrit, bane of Titan. If any mortal is capable of defeating the Lady of the Vortex, it is you. Win or lose, the battle should at least make for an entertaining spectacle. Assuming, of course, you live that long. Alphano, the dragon. Confound it all. Let us see how well your blasphemous gifts serve you this time, Crystal Bearer. I'm guessing level 2 is simply just filling up my second bar. Gotcha. Not sure if it will fill up or not. Oh, our thermitage just went down. Nope, didn't feel in time. Cornell, you all right? Speak to me. Twelve be praised. I feared the beast had injured you. I see now why the others rated you so highly. When you were caught in the midst of that etheric bubble with the dragon, I was all but certain my next mission would be to find a new champion. Thank the gods for sparing me that inconvenience. I have quite enough to do already, which reminds me, Sid is working on the Enterprise as we speak. Let us go and see what he has to say. What say you, Sid? Will she fly? Yes, though it will not be a pleasant ride. Well, I dare say it will be no more unpleasant than staying here. 'Tis a pity the Enterprise is not in a better state, but if she will allow us to quit this place, I shall not complain. If all are in agreement, let us return to Gridania. Though I would like nothing more than to set course for the Howling Eye, it is plain the Enterprise is in no condition to weather the storm. She must needs repair if we are to proceed with our mission. This is all too familiar. I know this airship. If I could just... it's no use. Let's go. Do, 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 do. How I have longed for the more agreeable climate of the Twelveswood. Yet I will not deny the Holy See had its charms, and the detours aside, our Ishgardian jaunt proved quite an adventure. Alas, our work is far from done. We still have an airship to repair and a primal to slay. No rest for the heroic, eh? calms me to look at her. It is as though I have been reunited with a part of me I never knew I was missing. Hardly surprising, you did design and build her. I bear good news, the Sea Tears have granted our request to house the Enterprise, when we take as long as we require to repair her. Of course, it would be rank folly to take one moment more than we require. Garuda, lest we forget, grows stronger by the hour. If we are to have any hope of wresting this benighted realm from her talons, it needs to be soon. Though I am no expert on the workings of airships, it seems plain to me that the Enterprise suffered much from her time in the wilderness. Am I not correct, Sid? You are, frankly. It's a miracle she carried us this far. As you know, the Howling Eye is encircled by a raging tempest, apt to turn proud trees to matchwood. Our battle will end before it begins if the Enterprise cannot weather the storm. Given time, I believe I can fully repair her. But if this tempest is as fearsome as you say, even that may not be enough. Oh, confound it. There must be a way to brave the fury of the elements. The elements, but of course, that's it. We work upon the element itself. Using the power of the corrupted crystal, we could clear a path through the storm and spare the Enterprise a battering. I see. You propose to utilize the properties of a crystal to alter the elemental aspect of the barrier. It seems so childishly simple in retrospect. Though mayhap not to you, Cornell, we speak of the manifestations of over-aspect aether that can be found throughout Eorzea. Since the calamity disrupted the land's etheric currents, such crystals have become comparatively commonplace, which has been a cause of great woe, as they are known to warp etheric energies, including those of living organisms. The point is, we could theoretically use a corrupted crystal to convert the wind-aspected aether comprising Garuda's barrier into aether of another aspect, one she cannot control. With certain modifications, the Enterprise should be able to deliver us to the Howling Eye in comfort, however hard Garuda blows. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. All of this rests upon our ability to procure a crystal with the necessary properties. Have you any idea where we might acquire one? No, but I know a man who might, a scholar by the name of Lambertine, who resides in Camp Drybone. Strange as it may sound, I met him during my time with the church. Well, Marquise met him, I suppose. Whether out of pity or for want of more willing listener, he would talk to me for hours at a time about his etheric studies, corrupted crystals being his pet subject. It was as a result of these conversations that poor Marquise was observed to possess an uncommon knack for theoretical science. Cornell, I need you to return to Thanolin and seek out this scholar. Sid and I will set about repairing the Enterprise in your absence. Yes, it would not be an FF game without crystals. Well, yes, I am Professor Labertine. I beg your pardon? You wish to hear about my research on corrupted crystals? Truly? Well, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to discuss my work with a fellow man of science. Ah, so rare it is to find fellow intellectuals in this region. 'Tis even rarer to find one capable of comprehending the nature of corrupted crystals. Come to think of it, there was another, a hermit, to whom the church had given sanctuary. Curious fellow, unsociable, rather daft at first impression, yet possessed an amazing affinity towards the scientific pursuits. But to the matter at hand, did you say you wish not to conduct field observations, but to harvest a corrupted crystal? Gads, man, at least take the necessary precautions so that you do not suffer from exposure to its harmful energies. I'm beginning to wonder if you have sufficient qualifications to handle such hazardous materials. Still, your ignorance is somehow endearing. Luckily for you, I have precisely the means by which these inherent dangers may be averted. Simply store the crystal you seek within this warded pot to protect yourself from its deleterious effects. Though I suppose you will be bombarded with its energies until you place it within the vessel. Well, perhaps it shall motivate you to work quickly. In any case, take the pot to Hahasako, a student of mine monitoring the flow of aether at High Bridge. Explain to him your quest, and he shall instruct you in the finer points of crystal harvesting. How many times must I be made to explain myself? I am not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I have chosen this precise position to perform scientific measurements. What have we here? A containment vessel? Why, this is the handiwork of Professor Labertine. You thieving knave, I shall call for the... Oh, you say the man himself lent it to you? Then you must have sought me out as per his instructions, which means he believes me experienced enough to expound upon his explanations. At last, the recognition I so rightfully deserve. It is very chill music. I enjoy that mount's music a lot. As long as you guys don't mind my caterwauling along to it. Oh, Frabjeste, Kalu Kale, that I should be chosen to guide this man. Yes, I, Hahasako, greatest of Professor Labertine's pupils, shall see that you successfully quarry your quarry. Hey, Thunder, thank you for the 100 bits, buddy. How you feeling today? Your timing is impeccable, in fact, for I was just preparing to procure corrupted crystals from the burning wall for my personal research. There, the devastating destruction caused by the calamity has blessed us with a bounty of sublime specimens. But something tells me that not but a perfect piece will satisfy your high standards, in which case you must needs descend to the deepest depths. Amidst the flowing waters and the murderous Mirrorites lies the most fantastic formation I have found thus far. Take this highly advanced researcher's tool and use it to separate a small fragment from the larger cluster. place it within the awarded pot and bear it back to me for inspection. The path which leads from Burgundy Falls to the base of the burning wall is treacherous and terrifying, but advance with appropriate caution, and you shall surely survive. Oh no. What was going on earlier? Rain around. I know that can be draining, especially after what you've been through medically. I like how I could just look up at him like, sup? And just run off. Walked a little too close to that one. Boom, 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 doo, doo, doo. I see you've come galumping back. How have you the crystal then? What a prodigiously large and lovely crystal. Professor Lampertine will doubtless chortle with joy when you present it to him in person. Oh, and upon your return, do remember to recount how I helped you with your harvesting. Helped me. All you did was tell me where it was. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. My keen scholar's sense tells me that you've obtained a corrupted crystal, am I right? If you would grant me a moment to examine the crystal? Ah, it is as you desired, a corrupted crystal overflowing with wind-aspected aether. Remind me, of what purpose did you intend to use this crystal again? What? To breach a barrier comprised of wind-aspected aether? Oh dear. That may prove problematic, as this crystal would only serve to strengthen the barrier. I suppose I'm at fault for not inquiring as to your objectives from the start. Had I known your intent, I would have never sent you to Hahasako. But what is science if not trial and error? And can you truly say that this failure has taught you nothing? Think, man. You now understand the methods necessary to safely collect a corrupted crystal. You will doubtless have no difficulty doing so once more. What's more, the crystal you collected can serve as an invaluable resource for the ethereal studies conducted by the students at Baldason. You've heard of them? Well, I don't mean to boast, but I have a professional relationship with the organization. Not as equals, of course. I would never be so bold as to claim that level of expertise. Are you all right? Your eyes seem to have glazed over for a moment. Anyway, I shan't keep you from your task. You've still a corrupted crystal to find. Corrupted crystals of sufficient size and strength are not all that common, I fear. Fortunately, one of my other students, Sienna, claims to have discovered another promising site in eastern Leneska. Wait, that's not correct. Eastern Leneska was where she was nearly killed when wandering too close to an imperial castrum. Now that made for an amusing anecdote. It was western Leneska, Pharaoh Sirius, on the Isles of Umbra, to be precise. Can't recall her exact reasoning, something to do with one of Dalamud's talons, or some such nonsense. What I can say for certain is that she is still in Ailport, attempting to gain access to the Isles. Why not travel there and see if Sienna's inquiries bear fruit? If you can look past the crass and violent ways of the local pirates, you might find your time there to be quite pleasurable. Oh, and do not forget to take your makeshift warded pot. Lest she think you are unprepared for the task. And congrats on the 5-stream streak, Thunder. Right. A, I need to tune myself here. B, I need to refill my drink. And ads. Alright. Before we speak to her, I'm going to go refill my drink. So I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Eh? Corrupted crystals? Sir, I have no interest in being the butt of your jokes, so if you've no other reason of addressing me, kindly leave me be. Well, I'll be damned. Professor Lambertine did send you. Beg your pardon, it seems we got off on the wrong foot. I'm Sienna, greatest of the professor's pupils, which is doubtless why he bid you seek me out. Indeed, I am an accomplished scholar with an extensive background in... Oh, God, it's just listen to me prattle on and on. I must have given this introduction a dozen times by now. As I told the professor in my many missives, I believe that the area surrounding Ferrocirrus is replete with corrupted crystals of exceptional strength. Unfortunately, I've yet to test my hypothesis, as all access to the Isles of Umbra is prohibited at present, for reasons unknown to me. You see, my attempts to acquire this information are often met with annoyance and disdain. It's rather puzzling, since I always take the time to explain my motivations in great detail to the subjects of my questioning. Mayhap you will have better luck wresting information from these yellow jackets? I've all but given up at this point. You're keen on traveling to the Isles of Umbra. Bloody hells, lad, are you drunk or just crazy? Ain't nothing there but death, death, and more death. What the heck? Do 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 do. Isles of Umbra, what interest have you in that godforsaken place? Ever since we were forced to abandon Pharaoh's Cirrus, the Isles have become not more than a graveyard of ships, unable to navigate the shores, and purgatory for the souls dragged down to the depths with them. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da, da-da-da-da, ba-ba-ba-ba. What the devil is this one? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, you startled me. Don't you know better than to sneak up on a person at a time like this? What with all this fatuous gossip of spirits and specters haunting the Isles of Umbra? Just because I know it's nonsense doesn't make it less frightening. Ah, Cornell, you've returned. Tell me of your findings. Really? Infested with the undead, you say? That is very, very interesting development. Excuse me for a moment while I gather my thoughts. Worry not, my friend. I've given your findings some thought, and I've concluded that this talk of spirits is not more than local folklore. As for why all travel to the Isles of Umbra are restricted, well, mayhap it's considered too dangerous owing to the abandoned Pharaoh's Cirrus? Yes, well, anyway, while you were questioning those yellow jackets, I paid a visit to the local pub, since even an esteemed scholar like myself enjoys dulling her wits on occasion. It was there that I heard tell of a man named Skyfrin, who was recently detained after returning from, wait for it, the Isles of Umbra. This is the first I've heard of someone actually traveling to and from there, so I'm curious as to how he obtained permission. Mind having a chat with him in my stead? He was arrested after all, so I'm somewhat reticent to approach him myself. Pharaoh's Cirrus is actually a cool dungeon to do. Nice. I have to go back. She calls to me. Sings Siren. It's freaking Siren. Tell Mimidoa I'm sorry. Give him this. He was right. Or you could release me. Yes, release me. I will go and tell her. Let me go to her. That was someone on Cloud's motorcycle. Nice. What did Skyfrin have to say? That's not terribly helpful. I couldn't care less how much he misses his favorite bar wench. But what was that about a man named Mimidoa? Wait, I know that name. That's the bastard who grabbed my arse the other day in the pub. Well, if you haven't want to give him that feather, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere near him and his wandering hands. And of course, it's a Lalafell. The right height for just grabbing. Another initiate, are you? No? Then what are you? Speak up, son. I can't hear you. Ah, bugger me. Is this what I think it is? Nah, couldn't be. You found this, you say? Where'd you say you found it? Skyfrin, you say. Was hoping to have a word with that lad, but it sounds like there's not left twixt his ears. He was supposed to help patch up Pharaoh's Cirrus, he was. Company sent me to supervise the lot of them. Weren't getting work done on their own. See, half of them walked off, half of them ran off, and half of them up and vanished. Well, that's 3 halves, dude. What's that? You'd be looking for passage to the Isles of Umbra? Why didn't you say so? I've been thinking of dispatching someone to take a look on behalf of old Mimadoa. Tell him how the land lies. Ain't nobody been interested till you came a-calling. Whole port's up in arms about spirits and so forth. If I had the gill, I'd hire some sellswords and let them sort it out. But you'll do in a pinch, you will. Show this parchment to the skipper and he'll see you there and back. Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Boom. So you went and had a word with Mimadoa? I hope the valuable time you saw fit to waste amounted to something. You mean that disgusting creature was Skyfrin's superior? I find that hard to believe, but this writ of passage does appear to be genuine, so it must be true. I must say it is a relief to work with such an industrious man as you. I look forward to hearing of the discoveries you will make on the Isles of Umbra without me. She's scared of ghosts. You know what I have to say to that? I ain't afraid of no ghost. Fine, fine. I fail to see the justification for dragging me along on your journey, but if you insist, I will go as well. The 12's is my witness. If you leave me behind to be devoured by some horrid abomination, I shall come back and haunt you. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. I was a member of the real Ohio Ghostbusters. I have a 1-to-1 proton pack. I have the uniform. I have the boots. So I used to do charity events at conventions, do charity raffles and stuff like that. It was fun. In that group, we had our own Ecto-1. We had a lot of great props. Ha! Take me to the Isles of Umbra, he bids, as if it's as simple as, oh, I see you've got to read a passage. All right, then. Climb aboard. This doesn't seem all that bad. I'm not saying I'd like to build a summer home here, but oh, the hell's with this. Here, take your pot and go on without me. You've harvested corrupted crystals before, right? So it isn't as though you require my assistance. Speak to the man guarding the gate, and I'm sure he'll let you in. Now, if you would please excuse me. Run away! Still have this blasted cough, like almost 3 weeks post-COVID. Beg your pardon, sir, but how did you come here? Access to the island is currently restricted. An old pot. Not sure I follow. Oh, I see. You wish to harvest a corrupted crystal. Sorry, friend, but you may have to return empty-handed. The writ Master Mimidoa gave you may grant you access to the island, but only authorized personnel may proceed past this point. Why, you ask? Look up and see for yourself. When that giant massive crystal struck the lighthouse, it caused severe damage to both the structure and the machinery within that once powered the beacon. Aye, contrary to what the small folk would have you believe, the fires of Pharaoh Sirius were not the product of a mage's thaumaturgy or a colossal arcane bomb, but an elaborate contraption fueled by ethereal energy. Repairs are still ongoing, but it's anyone's guess when they'll be complete. What's worse, all work has ceased since rumors of the Walking Dead drove off our entire crew. Not that those rumors are incorrect. I've observed the fiends from a distance, at the ship graveyard to the south. What's drawn them to our shores is still a mystery, though. I'll make you a deal, Cornell. Help me unravel this mystery, and I'll bring you your corrupted crystal. In fact, I shall begin searching for one that satisfies your requirements. As for where to begin your inquiries into this situation, it so happens that a party of 3 adventurers came ashore not long ago, seeking to scavenge valuable trinkets at the ship graveyard. I'd be surprised if they knew nothing of the undead infestation, so it might behoove you to question them. You saw them too, right? Dead people, just shambling about without a care in the world. Except when they do seem to care, that is, and start shuffling towards the water. God, it's that voice, that single fleeting verse. I can still hear it. Stay clear of the southern shore, friend. It took every ounce of my strength to resist. It's all there for the taking. 5 bleeding years worth of wreckage and their cargo. But those queer dead things and that voice, actually the voice was quite nice. This talk of an alluring voice is disturbingly familiar, as if... That's impossible. They're all dead, aren't they? But if they've returned, that would mean... Oh, beg your pardon. I was just, thinking about something. Which reminds me, I received word that Master Mimidoa would be arriving any moment. Apparently he grew tired of waiting for the lanky young lad with the 1,000-yalm stare to return, which I'm assuming is you. I don't know what sort of arrangement you had, but you should probably go and explain yourself. What's been keeping you, initiate? I ain't getting any younger, you know. Huh? Some honey-voiced harlot's been calling out to folk what wandered near the ship graveyard, and it stirred up the dead and all? Bloody hells, this takes me back to me days as a cannon boy, sailing under old Mistbeard. But they wouldn't dare, would they? Not after the lesson we learned 'em last time. Bah! They bloody would, though. Wouldn't they? Brazen old biddies. Some folks said as the first purge would be the last, but I knew deep down in my bones that this day would come. And come it has, aye. I'd bet me bum ear as sirens behind all this. Nay, not one of the sanguine variety, initiate. I speak of the other kind. them what's got feathers and lures sailors to a watery grave with her sweet, sweet song. Oh, but it don't end there. No drowning is just the start. See, even in death, a man stays bound to the beast, forced to do her bidding till his corpse can't do it no more. 'Tis a fate I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, except maybe in drink, and I'd regret it after. Any road, 'tis up to us to stop this hell's-born hussy, for she takes another soul. In Final Fantasy, sirens have feathers, yes. The last time we saw a siren, at least the last time I remember seeing siren as a summon, was in Final Fantasy VIII. Of course, we can't send you marching off to war without these. The siren don't have no power over a man who can't hear her song. 'Tis lucky for you I carry a spare pair. And lucky for the both of us, I'm a superstitious old sod, eh? Well, she ain't coming to us, so we'd best head over to her, to the ship graveyard. Lay down, Domino. She passes near the shore. She's sure to spy the campfire and come looking. Just a matter of waiting now. I began to wonder if some sly bugger ain't spun us a yarn. Quiet, do you hear that? 'Tis her. Look out! Out over the water. She's come. She's come. Quick, lad. Shove them plugs in your ears and get ready for a fight. As soon as she realizes you're deaf to her ditties, she'll call on her thralls, and we'll be up to our necks in corpses out before you know it. Hither, embrace mine everything all. It's true. True love spurned. It's a good point. Spare mournful mistress distress. Why? Melody, last breath of death, the rhythm. Dost thou not to relent regret? Love a river when looked soul I shiver. So she's a yandere songstress, essentially. No more dark eclipse the heart. Am I all right? Ha, I'm better than that. Happy as a sailor in a whorehouse, I am. Wow, he's colorful. Of course, I'd be happy as a sailor with two whatsits if we'd gutted the songstress, but ye can't have everything, can ye? She'll not come crooning around here again, though. Not for a while, any road. And if she does, well, we know what to do, don't we? Thanks for the help. Booger me, I've clean forgot your name. Remind me. Cornell. Don't recall having no initiate by that name, but if you're not me old mate, what's the name? Why have you been so bloody helpful? Never mind. Be seeing you, lad. You mean it was a siren? But how were you able to resist her song? I see. I had heard that Master Mimadoa was involved in the first purge, but I never actually... Having survived an ordeal like that, I can't blame him for carrying earplugs around with him. Anyway, I have something for you. The corrupted crystal you wanted. Safely sealed within the pot, just as you requested. Please take it with my compliments. Back to Airport. Have a good night, Tori. Oh, it's you. Welcome back, Cornell. You're looking remarkably hale, I must say. More importantly, alive. You're alive, aren't you? Aha! The conquering hero returns bearing a gift. Might I have a closer look? Impressive. Very impressive indeed. Yes, I think you'll be quite pleased with this specimen. Congratulations, Cornell. Seldom, if ever, have I encountered a corrupted crystal composed of such a volatile overabundance of fire aspect aether. What? You wanted a corrupted crystal composed of ice aspect aether to counteract the effects of a raging wind? Ah, well, this specimen won't help you there. Anyone who knows anything about the elements could tell you that. You'll just have to keep looking, I suppose. Good boy, Domino. Don't fret now, I know exactly where to find a corrupted crystal composed of ice aspected aether. An associate of mine in Gradania has been studying the effects of one such crystal on living beings. What's that? What's with that expression? I thought you would be pleased to hear this news. This is not another wild dodo chase, I assure you. What's even better is that this time you needn't use that warded pot of yours to protect yourself from the crystal's energies. Haydn's findings suggest it is quite safe. Why, you ask? Well, let's just say it has undergone a unique process that has rendered such precautions unnecessary. Anyway, do not let me keep you. It has been a pleasure, Cornell. Come back and see me sometime, alright? All right. Greetings and salutations, Mr. Kritz, I presume. Sienna informed me of your adventures in Aleport. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding, though as Professor Lambertine is fond of saying, no action taken in the name of science is truly wasteful. To the matter at hand, corrupted crystals possessing the properties you seek could be found in abundance at the standing courses following the calamity. Alas, that is no longer the case. And while there is at least one suitable crystal that remains to be found within the Twelveswood, precisely where it is at any given moment is more difficult to say. Permit me to explain. You are familiar with the Spriggans, yes? The furry little rascals that are wont to seek out ores and other stones? Well, one such creature, with an infamously insatiable appetite, has single-handedly devoured every corrupted crystal in the Twelveswood. Fortunately for you, these crystals take an eternity to digest, assuming they can even be digested, and I'm reasonably confident that one still resides within his gut. It's quite fascinating, really. My theory is that this Giggity first consumed a corrupted crystal when... You couldn't care less about all this, could you? To the point, then, Giggity seldom makes his presence felt unless there is particularly fine fodder to be had. Therefore, we shall require a lure, and I have precisely the sort he will find impossible to resist. Simply place this true heart. I shall save the story of the origin of its unusual name for another occasion, outside of this brigand's lair, and wait for the opportune moment to pounce. As for the method by which you retrieve the crystal from his gut, I shall leave that to your discretion. So what's everyone up to this evening? Ah, pray do not sneak up on me like that. I was engrossed in... Wait, what is that? What in the God's awful smell? My word, that is a breathtakingly beautiful crystal. I see my supposition was not mistaken. I also see you weren't averse to digging it through the friggin' entrails for your prize. We are for a debt of gratitude, you know. The thick coating of digestive juices is protecting us from the harmful effects of the crystal, just as the watered pot you once used. Why so glum, friend? You finally obtained the cryptic crystal you sought, when overflowing with earth. Calm down, I jest. It is comprised of ice aspected aether, and worry not. I suppose that joke was in poor taste, considering your previous 2 attempts were for naught. Beg your pardon, Cornell. I forgot to return your crystal to you. Oh, and there was a message for you from Professor Lambertine. Something about a man named Marquise? Apparently, the professor misses the intellectual stimulation. Forgive me, I should have written it down. It occurs to me that I have yet to ask why you need the crystal. You aren't planning on anything nefarious, are you? It would reflect poorly on me and my research if it were used for evil deeds. Well, perhaps it's best I remain ignorant. I didn't become the professor's greatest pupil by filling my head with unnecessary information. Greetings, sir. Do you wish to proceed to your vessel? All repairs and modifications have been completed, Cornell. Once you bring me the crystal, nothing will stand between us and Garuda. I'll need to run some tests to be sure, but this looks to be exactly what we need. Don't worry, Cornell. I'll see that your hard work doesn't go to waste. The Enterprise is already more than a common airship, but mark my words, soon it will become something greater, something extraordinary. This is me. This is what I was born to do. All right, I'll return in a moment. All right, I'm back. According to my test, the device is now functioning in perfect harmony with the crystal, meaning we can leave whenever you're ready. But you must understand, tests can only tell so much. Until we approach the Howling Eye, until we attempt to breach the barrier itself, we cannot be sure this will work. I think it only fair to tell you that there is a small but statistically significant chance that the crystal could trigger a massive... May have it better that we remain positive. Cornell, I would want to thank you for returning me to my ship. reuniting me with my ship, for trusting in me to develop this plan for everything. You've helped me to rediscover a part of myself I'd forgotten, and I'm not the man I once was. And I do not know if I ever shall be, but I do know one thing. This feels right. My apologies for the sudden outpouring of sentiment. I would have waited until after the mission, but, well, you understand.
There. She's ready.
Ah, she stirs. To Kurthus, and an audience with the Harpy Queen Garuda. Enterprise, engage. Damn it.
I once flew in this airship, and I was not alone. There were adventurers on board. Adventurers like you. Just how long have I worn these damn goggles? Ah, yes, I fancied myself a trendsetter in my younger days. The young prodigy, admired by all, exactly like his father. Born and raised in Garlemald. It was only natural that the precocious young student should become an engineer. Had his father not done the same? Father, when did we stop seeing eye to eye? When did Meteor become your everything, and your loved ones cease to matter? You abandoned us all. But he was there for me, Father. There for me when you were not. Though he proved no better in the end. Gaius was just another man, with an all-consuming obsession. And so I ran, left the Empire behind and came to Eorzea, where I built the ironworks.
Well, looks like I'm going to be doing some time traveling.
Eorzea opened my eyes. It was home to so many manner of people, each with their own hopes and dreams. People worth saving, and so I fought beside them. I wanted to prove that my knowledge could serve a nobler purpose. I wanted to prove that there was another way. And it all began that day when I found my new home. I had forgotten how wonderful it was. The wind in your hair, the endless sky. That light. It was you, wasn't it? It's surprising how few people know this, but all pure-blood Garleans have a third eye. Perhaps mine helped me recognize you, or perhaps it was just a lucky guess. The Enterprise was made for this. To carry Eorzea's protectors into battle. I am proud to be able to call her my own.
Everyone got really quiet.
Sid? What exactly do you remember?
Alfinord, my boy. Sorry to have been such a burden. I remember everything. My name, my people, and my purpose. Everything. Come, it would be rude to keep Garuda waiting.
All our efforts, all our travails, all of it was for this. Make ready, Cornell, for the end is nigh, be it hers or our own. Who dares intrude upon my sanctuary? Your insolence shall not go unpunished, landwalkers. 12 preserves. She's huge. As I live and breathe. Alright, buddy. Lay down. Over there, look. Go lay in your bed. Amalja and Kobold prisoners, but why would the Ixal bring them here? Wherefore come you hither, foolish mortals? Garuda, we are come to put an end to your reign of terror. Hear you this blasphemy, my children? These landwalkers would bring me low. You who are bound to crawl upon the earth should revere me, for I am the wind. Did we not take to the skies and slip your defenses? We are bound by nothing, Garuda. You think your playthings give you strength? They will not help you here, Landwalker. This is my realm, where none can challenge my supremacy. Struggle though you may, I shall slake the roots with your blood, and festoon the canopy with your entrails. Slay the unfeathered ones we shall. As an offering to Garuda they will serve. Leave the Ixal to us, Cornell. We will keep them distracted while you deal with her. Do not fail, Cornell. Remember, you fight for the Scions, for Eorzea. This worm would die by mine own hand. Come then, I shall grant you that which you seek. Badass fight music time. Got her. No. No! It's weird. It says I was disconnected from my chat for a second. Sorry about that if anyone said anything. What? How in the hells? This is my realm. You have no hope here. None. Do you truly believe you could defy a god, Landwalkers? My power is limitless. My children legion. And they have rendered unto me a wealth of crystals. Their gifts sustain me, their faith empowers me. None save my children will escape the reckoning mortals, and those who would use my crystals to awaken the rest shall realize the folly of their faith. Then all shall worship none but me, the one true God. Of course, worship. So long as the Ixal keep praying, she will never fall. And let's stop them. No harm will come to my children. This is only the beginning, Landwalkers. All who oppose me shall suffer for their defiance. Soon the worms of the forest shall receive my judgment, the desert vermin next. The walls of stone will not shield them from the tempest. And then will I take vengeance on the sea lice. Their wooden boats cannot outrun the wind. Tremble, mortals, for I shall visit you all in time, and all shall be mine. You Landwalkers, dare to raise your hand against me. You shall be the first to pay for your sins, not with your death, but with your life. You will serve me, Landwalker, to your last breath. Oh, I claimed you. You should be mine. Final crystal. What have you done to me? No mortals possess such power. This is impossible.
Why do you not tremble at my might? Why do you not beg for mercy? Why do you not die?
We've done it!
Ah! Impossible it is!
Kill you all! Is that all?
Gaius.
O Lady of the Vortex, O mighty Garuda, of all primals the most terrible, I say again, is that all?
Gaius!
Ah, Sid, my boy. You look well. For one who has forsaken kin and country. I wonder what else you will forsake before the day is done.
What?
What exactly did you hope to accomplish here this day? Well, I shall accomplish far more.
Is that all? Is that all? Insolent mortal! I shall make you suffer! That foul stench! I see now. She has touched you! Very well.
Seven hells, does she still mean to fight?
Lord of the Inferno Almighty, brought us succor in our hour of need.
Save us, Titan, Lord of Crags! It hurts us so! The pain! The pain!
What is she? 12 preserve. She cannot mean to...
That's not good.
No. No, this is all wrong.
Stop gawping, boy. We must run.
Surrender yourselves unto me! I would feast upon your ether! None shall stand against the wind!
Bear witness to the glory of the Empire! It is you who will suffer, Garuda. Ancient Alec had ways of dealing with your kind. Now, look on their ultimate weapon, Icon, and despair.
No! No! No!
Not good.
Magnificent. It exceeds all expectation.
With each primal it consumes, it grows more powerful. A marvel, is it not?
Such is the fate of those who oppose the Empire. There will be no warriors of light to save you this time. If your leaders are as wise as they are reported, they will surrender. Your skills are impressive, but they will not be enough.
Hmm. 12, have mercy. What chance have we against such an ungodly creation? And who was that armored devil?
That was Gaius van Balsar, legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion and Supreme Commander of the Garlean invasion force in Eorzea.
Of course. The Black Wolf. How could I not realize? Grandfather mentions him in his journal.
I was never so naive as to think the man would abandon his ambitions. But these developments are beyond my worst expectations. What have you been doing these past 5 years? How could something of this magnitude have escaped the Alliance's attention?
We heard no whispers, saw no signs. In the wake of the calamity, the Empire seized land and built outposts, but that was the extent of their aggression.
Damn it, Gaius. Where in the seven hells did you find that thing?
It has been a day of unexpected developments, but the fact remains, Garuda is no longer a threat. While I take no comfort in the manner of her downfall, it does mean that we may safely put the matter of the primals to one side. For the time being, at least.
Which just leaves the matter of Gaius's new toy.
Indeed. That weapon poses the greatest threat to Eorzea. It must be destroyed. But first, we must needs find out all we can. Let us make for Vesper Bay. We shall rebuild the Scions. All is not yet lost, my friend. For we bear the light, and shall surely lead our people from the darkness.
Well, that was an experience I'd rather not have again. Something that's been troubling me, Cornell. Shortly before the Black Wolf took center stage, when Garuda attempted to claim you as her own, I could have sworn I saw, but I'm sure I was mistaken. In times of great stress, the evidence of the eye is apt to be misread by even the most inquiring mind. Forget I mentioned it. Returning to the subject of our earlier discussion, we may consider the matter of the primals closed until further notice. No beast tribe will dare summon their god so long as that weapon exists. Truly a more effective deterrent I could not imagine. It almost seems a shame to plot its destruction. Well, if only we could put it into our control. Even then, it's a terrible weapon. Alright, back to the Waking Sands. Boom, ba-ba-da-bum. And Kaylee with the sub. 34 months. Oh my gosh. How are you doing tonight? Tell me, Cornell, does odd here strike you as odd? I see signs of recent habitation. Could it be that we have trespassers? Mayhap it's just my imagination. Come, let us proceed into the solar. Wait. Who goes there? Now, Yida. Is that a way to greet a friend? Afanau? Cornell? Sid. Hey, is this a dream? Not that I'm aware of. It's been a while, Yida. I don't believe it. I was sure you'd been... This place has seen better days. You know, I wasn't actually here when I was still in talks with the Adder's Nest. The first I knew about it was when I came back and I saw Yida. The church had taken care of the bodies, but it still left the stains. It was hard not to know where to start. If Stola hadn't been here to help me. Stola's here too? Yes, but she's not here right now. She's gone to Ul'dah to meet a man who might know what happened to the others. Papalimo and Menfilio weren't among the dead, according to the church. Stola thinks they were taken somewhere. Upon the orders of the Black Wolf, no doubt. Why would he want them? Because they possess something he desires, knowledge of another power that can be brought to bear against the primals, one that Gaius has yet to harness. The Echo. Gaius will be aware of its existence as well as the immunity it grants the gifted to the primal's influence. Powerful though his Allagan weapon may be, he would doubtless desire such protection. He means to use Menfilia to gain an understanding of the Echo. To podcasts that made me choke. Oh my god. What was it about? No, which explains how the Empire came to know the location of the Waking Sands in the first place. No matter, the Empire has shown its hand. Now we must act. It is up to us to rebuild the Scions and save Eorzea. Can I count on you, Yida? Oh, yes, of course. Whatever you need. We can discuss our next move upon Ystola's return. For now, I say we rest.
Hear, feel, think.
crystals, thy soul burneth bright. I am Heidelin, all made one. Hearken unto me now, for the darkness doth begin to spread. Wear thee the bearer of the crimson brand, for he is the avatar of shadow, whom death attendeth always. The crystals shall be thy salvation, thy blade and shield both. Steel thyself, for at the appointed hour thou shalt stare into the heart of darkness. Go with caution, my child, but fear not, for I am ever with thee.
Yustola. Cornell, I see you and Alphanu are safe, and Sid. That we five should meet each other thus of high simple explanation is as if the benevolent hand of Master Louis Swa guides us still. He would not see us undone so easily, not now when the need is so great. I know where Minfilia and the others are being held. Where? An imperial stronghold in the heart of Mordona, Castrium Century. The rescue of our allies will be no small undertaking, Cornell. Even under normal circumstances, breaching the defenses of an imperial castrum would be a highly dangerous proposition. But now that Castrum Century houses prisoners whom the Garleans deem valuable, we may be confident that they have taken additional measures to ensure the stronghold's security. If we are to free our friends, we will require an effective strategy, and if we are to formulate an effective strategy, we will require intelligence. I believe I know a man who may be able to assist us in this. Lord Portelaine of House Durandir. He is stationed at the observatorium in Corthus. Let us go to him and beseech his aid. Ah, Cornell, the man who unmasked the heretic in our midst. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? You're an associate of Estola, but of course, Lord Drillamont confided to me that you were a scion of the Seventh Dawn. Castrum Sentry. What interests have you all in the Imperials? They hold several of our number whom we intend to free. Any information you can provide would be greatly appreciated. I see. That might explain our scouts' reports. They observed 4 prisoners being led into the castrum. A Huron woman, an Elzen man, and 2 Lalafels, 1 male, 1 female. It's them, it has to be. Minfilia, Rangier, Papalimo, and Totoro. If that scant morsel is of use to you, you may also be interested to hear about a more recent incident. Incident? An Imperial airship made an emergency landing here in Korthos not long ago. 2 men believed to be prisoners, a Rogadin and a Lalafel, were seen fleeing the craft. What did you say? A Rogadin and a Lalafel. Master Garland, neither wore Imperial dress, and both seemed disinclined to wait for rescue. Hence our assumption that they were prisoners. Well, I'll be damned. It's Biggs and Wedge. Trust those 2 rascals to escape. We must find them, Cornell, and soon. The Imperials will not rest until they've captured or killed. And if Biggs were given the choice, I fear he'd take the latter. Freeing those held in Castrum Sentry will require substantial planning and preparation. As such, it is an endeavor that will admit some slight delay. The matter of these escapees, by contrast, will not. Shortly after the prisoners vacated the airship, our scouts observed Imperial troops setting off in pursuit. It is likely only a matter of time before they catch them. If you wish to see your comrades again, you had best act now. If, as has been suggested, the Garleans took our fellow Scions prisoner in hopes of understanding the Echo, it seems reasonable to assume that they will not be executed until such time as the study is complete. But Biggs and Wedge are not Scions, nor do they know aught of the Echo. As Lord Portelaine said, this may prove our only chance to rescue them. I say we seize it. Thank you, everyone. You won't regret this. Final preparations are almost complete, my lord. There stands the culmination of 5 long years of painstaking work, but all our effort will be vindicated when the Emperor's vision becomes reality. At last, we have the power to purge this land of its false gods. We shall give the ignorant children of Eorzea the security and stability they so desperately crave, and which their spineless leaders have so palpably failed to provide. As you say, my lord, rest assured our engineers will not rest until the weapon is fully armed and operational. Ratathan, you depart for Castrum Ocidens at midnight. You will command the western front in Vilbrand. The Orzians will attempt to interfere with our plans. You will see that they do not. My lord, if this be your will, I shall carry it out to the best of my ability. I live only to serve the Empire. Yet forgive my imprudence, but is it proper to give command of half of our forces to a... I have given you nothing, Prefectus. You have earned it. That will be all. Dismissed. Yes, my lord. My quarters. 1 hour. My purpose here is to reconnoiter Garlean activity along Abalathia's spine. Owing to this, I have the honor of being acquainted with Y'shtola. Now, the report of the Imperial airship's emergency landing came to us by way of Zemel Darkhold, situated to the west. Our man stationed at the entrance, a knight named Verslit, may be able to tell you more so as to expedite your mission. I shall furnish you with a letter of introduction. I pray that you will soon be reunited with your comrades. May the Fury grant you strength. We stand before Zemel Darkhold, the subterranean fortress excavated by the great Ishgardian house of the same name. None but authorized personnel may enter. A letter from Lord Portalaine. So you have come about the Imperial airship? According to our scouts, the vessel had scarce touched the ground when a pair of men, captives by all accounts, burst forth and bolted. Imperial soldiers have since been sighted in the area seeking to recapture them. What? The captives are like to be your friends, you say? Then let us pray that they are yet a step ahead of their pursuers. The emergency landing reportedly took place near Arm Vale, situated south and west of here. I suggest you take your search there. Seek out a knight named Paramons. He should be able to assist you. The Imperial airship, I saw it approach to land with mine own 2 eyes. I hastened to the landing site, arriving just in time to see the vessel take to the skies again, but not before it had deployed a detachment of troops. Gruff orders were being barked, and there was an air of consternation about them. There were prisoners aboard the airship, it seems, and they seized the opportunity to flee when the vessel was forced to land. The Garleans, who were deployed, formed search parties and proceeded to scour the wilderness in order to alert our forces. I returned to my post to find evidence that someone had been here in my absence. I haven't had dinner yet, Thunder, but I have eaten today. I had quesadilla and then I had a burrito. Whoever they were, they tried the door to no avail and decided to go elsewhere. In all, I marked 2 sets of footprints, one large, one small. If you search the area, mayhap you will be able to follow the prints to their owners. How about you? What'd you eat tonight? So cold. I want to go home. Please don't eat me. I'm not nearly as succulent as I look. It's all skin and bones underneath, I swear. Cornell, it's you. Thank goodness you're here. It's been awful. The Garleans were snapping at our heels like hungry pack of wolves. I was so hell-bent on invading them, I almost ran headlong into a monstrous gaping maw thrice. When I finally found cover, it hit me how cold and hungry I was. Biggs? He isn't here. He went off in a different direction to lure our pursuers away. It's me, Sid. Have you had any success? Track down Wedge. That's wonderful news. Now what about Biggs? Blackened chicken sandwich? That sounds good. I see. Well, it hardly surprises me that the big fellow went off as he did. For all the tongue lashings he gives Wedge, he's always taking care of him. I've scoured the area surrounding the Darkhold, but have nothing to show for it. At any rate, we know for a fact that Biggs headed west. With both Yida and Yestola helping out, I'm sure he'll turn up soon. Now then, I'll make my way over to your position while keeping an eye out for Biggs. Memory serves, there should be an Ishgardian fortification not far to your west. Monument Tower, I believe it's called. Let us meet there. There, I hope. Was that Master Garland you spoke with? After 5 long years, thank goodness he's alive. I'm feeling better now, Cornell. Let's go to Monument Tower and wait for the chief to arrive. Well met and welcome, adventurer. What brings you to this frozen corner of the realm? Oh, it would seem your companion has caught a chill. Come and warm yourself by the fire. I'll bring you a hot broth. How are you feeling now, then? Stay here as long as you need. The same goes for you, friend. 'Tis plain you have a hard journey ahead of you. You must find rest when you can. I'm fine now, thanks to you, but I can't bear to think of that Biggs is still alone in the cold, with the Garleans on his heels. He lured the enemy away for my sake, and now he's suffering for it. I hate to have to rely on you again, Cornell, but do you think you could search for Biggs? I haven't the slightest notion where he might be at the moment, but maybe, just maybe, the people here have seen something. A Rogdean gentleman dressed in the same manner as your companion? I'm sorry, but he did not come by here. Let me think a moment. I would not raise your hopes unduly, but there is a cave situated a short distance to the south. We call it the Fury's Gaze, and it may be worth the while to investigate. I make this suggestion only because your friend seems like a selfless sort. Rather than drawing the enemy to this tower, mayhap he elected to pass us by. Cornell, were you able to learn anything? Nothing, not in this area. Well, it stands to reason, I suppose, seeing as he was trying to lure the Garleans away from me. But we're within this vast sea of snow and ice, could he be? We can't give up, Cornell. We must find Biggs before he succumbs to the cold or is recaptured. There must be someone in this tower who can help us, even if it's only to tell us where to look. Ask them for me. Ask anyone who will listen, and hurry. Biggs' chances of survival grow slimmer by the moment. Your friend is lost in the wilderness, you say. If he's not to be found around here, or in the vicinity of the Darkhold, it's possible he made for Whitebrim. To reach it, one must travel through Danifin Pass, the southern end of which lies to the north and east of here. While I make no guarantee that your search will bear fruit, it's surely better than worrying in idleness. I wish you luck. Oh, and one more thing. Do tread warily when climbing the stairs here. Not a moon ago, I near broke my neck when I slipped and took a tumble. Because you would fall straight to the bottom. Thank goodness you found me, Cornell. I would have frozen or drowned or been eaten by a mud puppy if it wasn't for you. Alright, I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Our orders will take you back, dead or alive. Which will it be, engineer? Why don't you come and find out, Tinhead? Ah, Cornell. It is well that you are here. The situation is grave. Biggs is in a bad way. We need to do something right now. Ida has the right of it. He will perish if we delay. With me. He's not alone. Kill them all. There we go. Thanks. Another moment and I would have... Yeah, he's hurt. He has been too long in the cold. We must find shelter for him. Monument Tower, you say? Very well. You and I shall bear him there with all haste. Sid will be so happy to see Biggs and Wedge again. I love reunions. Oh, yeah. How have you been? We haven't gotten to chat in a while. Oh, wow. What took her there? And I'm out in Arizona. Cannot thank you enough, Cornell, and the same goes for the rest of you. Thank you all so much. But don't mention it. We're a family, are we not? Gotcha. Well, yes, it's just I didn't think I'd ever see him again. I owe a lot of you my life. And you saved Wedge too, Cornell. I'm losing count of how many I owe you. Biggs, Wedge, God, it's good to see the two of you again. Chief, it's you. It's really you. In our hearts, we knew you were still alive, but to finally see you in the flesh. When Alpha Nu told me of the raid on the Waking Sands, I feared the worst had happened. The enemy struck with nary a warning. We didn't stand a chance. Wedge and I were in the workshop when they came. Before we knew what was happening, the Imperials had us at gunpoint. Must have been awful. There's one thing I don't understand, though. How did the Garleans get there so fast? I mean, the Immortal Flames should have seen them coming, right? I myself have asked the same question. That day, when I returned to the carnage of the Waking Sands, I noted not a miss in horizon. Nothing at all to suggest the passing of an Imperial force. From this, I concluded that the Garleans came neither by land nor by air. Nay, they were born there by potent teleportation magics of the kind used by the Asians. Carry on. We were bound and blindfolded and bundled into the cargo bay of a waiting airship. I can't rightly say how long we were aboard, but when the time came for us to disembark, we found ourselves in the midst of an Imperial stronghold, Castrum Sentry. Upon arrival, we were marched off into the main complex. Biggs and I were thrown into a detainment cell together, and while Minfilia and the others were taken elsewhere. That was the last we heard from them. Castrum Sentry. What happened next? Well, we were held in isolation for what felt like years, but was probably moons or maybe only weeks. And then without warning, the Imperials collected the pair of us and put us on a vessel, which we found out was bound for Garlemald. Much to our dread, we knew that if we were taken back there, we weren't like to leave again. So risky though it was, we sabotaged the ship's altitude control and thereby forced an emergency landing. And in the midst of the ensuing chaos, we managed to slip our captors. The rest, as they say, is history. If I didn't know better, I'd call that a likely story. Sabotaging the altitude controls of an airborne vessel? That will have been Biggs' handiwork. Like as not, you always were resourceful in a tight spot, my friend. Cornell, thank you for returning my dear assistance to me. It would seem I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. There are still many questions in my mind, but the answers can wait. Minfilia and the others still want for rescue. Alright, you lot. Garland Ironworks is back in business. Let's go and give the Imperials what for. Alright, I gotta let Domino out. I think he was asking me, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Thanks to you, Biggs and Wedge are with us again. Now we must find a way to rescue Minfilia and the others. Gods knows we've kept them waiting long enough already. Based on what we've learned, I believe it's safe to say they're being held at Castrum Sentry. So let us convene at Revenant's Toll in Mordona. 'Tis as good a place as any to prepare, and better than most. The road leading east, then south, shall get you there. When we arrive, let us seek the advice of the local adventurers. We're bound to learn a thing or two that will benefit our mission. Come here, Domino. Come on. You're staying here with me for a minute. Domino, come here. Boom. Boom. Do, 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 do. Well met, friend. What brings you to Revenant's Toll? Did I hear you right that your friends are being held captive at Castrum Sentry? You want to rescue them? I don't mean to discourage you, but that might prove difficult. The stronghold has been on high alert of late, with armored patrols seen about the perimeter around the clock. Not even a fly could get in within 100 yards of the walls undetected. If the Garlands were alerted to our coming, we cannot know what they will do to Minfilia and the others. We must act with the greatest stealth. Aye, it has to be a good old-fashioned infiltration. But with security so tight, how are we going to smuggle ourselves in? I have a mind to walk through the front door. Huh? Front door? Aye, we'll disguise ourselves as Imperial troops and march right in. For this, we'll need a few sets of Imperial uniforms, a suit of Magitech armor, and impeccable timing. That's a bold strategy, but it just might work. Where we are, there's certainly no shortage of opportunities to borrow the equipment. Knowing those Imperial bastards, they won't even suspect that we savage Eorzeans would think to use their technology. Then it's settled. If you're determined to go ahead with this, the fellow's got a personal grudge against the Empire and happens to know a deal about Castrum Sentry besides. I have no doubt that he'd want to be of aid. Yida and I shall go reconnoiter Garlean activity at the stronghold. It would not do if something were to befall our comrades before we had the chance to act. Come join us when you're ready, Cornell. Let's do this. Sometimes I wonder, Yida, are there ever times when you are not enthused? I'm nothing if not enthused, Y'shtola, and you are beginning to remind me of Papa Limo. Looking for Glaumont, are you? Well, you found him, whoever you are. Yeah, you're looking to get inside Castrum Sentry. You need my help? Something tells me we're going to get along just fine. So you have friends at Castrum Sentry want for rescue. That Slothborn knows me too well. Aye, you can count on my help. I've got a score to settle with the Imperials, and I never pass on an opportunity to get back at the Whoresons. But enough about me. Let's talk strategy. Rescuing folk from captivity, right? Delicate business. A single oversight, just one little blunder, and it's all over. You can't leave any room for uncertainty. For starters, you need to confirm beyond the shadow of a doubt that your friends are where you think they are. You don't want to risk your neck only to discover they've been moved elsewhere. But how can you find out, you ask? By following these instructions. If you approach Sentry from the east, you see a swampland to your left called the Tangle. Get in there, never mind all the marbles, and navigate your way to the southwestern corner. You'll come up some drainage pipes coming down from the stronghold. Don't ask how I know, but one of them leads back up to the command tower. If you listen closely, might be as you can eavesdrop on some of the happenings within. Once we know for certain your friends are there, we'll move to the next stage of the operation. Now get going. Godspeed. Faint sound of conversation echoes down the pipe. What of the captive? Does she still refuse to speak? She may as well be deaf-mute for all the information we've gotten out of her. The others aren't much better. The Elzen gets on my nerves most of all. Every time he opens his mouth, it's only to spout gibberish. I do wonder, why is the Tribunus so obsessed with this Menfilia woman? They say she possesses some mystical power, something we Garleans don't have. Mystical power, like the kind the beastmen use? How am I supposed to bloody know? If you're so curious, why don't you ask the Tribunus yourself? As well, try to tumble her. I like my head where it is, thank you very much. Our break is over. Best we get back to our stations. Footfalls grow fainter until all is silent. 'Tis good to see you again, Cornell. I'm given to understand you have conducted some reconnaissance. Tell me, what were you able to learn? Some Philly and the others are indeed at Castron Sentry. Their presence thus confirmed, we may proceed with the mission. While you were afield, Sid took liberty of devising a plan of action. Pray I have the details from him. Good work, Cornell. As Alphanu has already told you, we've plotted out a course for the rescue. The gist of it is unchanged. We disguise ourselves as Imperial soldiers and infiltrate the stronghold. Glaumut is looking into ways to procure a suit of Magitech armor. In the meantime, I need your assistance for some preparation of my own. Manphilia and the others are counting on us, Cornell. Let's not keep them waiting any longer than necessary. While Glaumut goes about devising his plan, we need to see to some preparation of our own. It wouldn't do if Imperials were to discover that they're short on armor. To prevent this from happening, I'm going to put together a makeshift communications jamming device. The explanation is like to get a bit of technical, so bear with me. Imperial forces communicate at a distance via electromagnetic waves. Simply put, voices are born upon etheric lightning energy that permeates the air. Now, the hill-sized cluster of corrupted crystals to the west has been observed to amplify the self-same energy. By making use of this property, we should be able to drown out Imperial voices. To ensure that we have enough amplification, we must identify the most potent crystals among the cluster. For this, I need to go there and use this device to take readings. I'll mark the likely places on your map. Oh, and just so you know, plasmoids are drawn to lightning energy. Don't be surprised if you run into a few. And that is where we are going to stop for the night. I'm going to find someone to raid. And we'll raid someone from Blitz's community. I just joined his recently. So we're going to actually raid Legions Gaming. He is playing Grand Blue Fantasy Relink right now. And I will see you guys tomorrow after I get done working to stream some more. So take care of yourselves. Make some noise when you get over there. Say hi. He's got about 94 viewers, so he's doing pretty well. So I'm going to send you guys over and have a wonderful night.